Those men are unicorns and they are very, very rare to come across.
So let us ask ourselves this question. Do you think women should just take a chill pill and stop fighting over 50-50 in a relationship? Let me explain. I saw a creator made a video talking about how she feels like there is no big deal in relationship in a 50-50 relationship because if we want a man to be emotionally intelligent, a man to be there for you that does not is not doesn't have weaponizing competence anymore. It doesn't cheat, nothing. Like he's just a perfect partner for you. But the only thing is that you have to support and do 50-50 in a relationship with him. She said that to get all those kind of men, they are unicorn, they are rare. So she feels like it's okay because both of us are an adult. We can share the bill. There's nothing wrong with sharing the bill. So if you really want to be in a relationship with a man that check all the old lists, but the only thing is you have to do 50-50 in a relationship, that there's nothing wrong with it. What do you guys think about this? Let me roll the clip for you all to watch, then we'll come back and talk about it.
You know what I find really interesting? I feel like a lot of women want a man that is progressive enough to be emotionally intelligent and emotionally responsible and available, that like goes to therapy, contributes to, the domestic duties of the household, knows how to plan things, knows how to do things without being told, doesn't use weaponized incompetence, all that stuff. They want him to challenge patriarchy and traditional forms of masculinity in every single way, but when it comes to being a financial provider. And I just feel like more women need to just be real and accept the fact that those men are unicorns and they are very, very rare to come across. It's very
True.
rare to come across a man that challenges all the traditional forms of masculinity or what we deem to be masculine, and he's going to stop at finances. Me and one of my exes went to couples counseling once. This was like years ago. I was about to break up with him, and I said the only way I'll stay with him is if we go to see a couples therapist. So he booked an appointment for us to go see a couples therapist. And in the therapy session, I was saying how I feel like he doesn't respect my opinions enough and he doesn't really consider me and all these things. And literally in front of the therapist, he goes, well, I just feel like if I'm the one paying for most of the dates and I'm the one paying for most of the activities that we do, then my opinion should just matter more. Like, of course, I'm gonna have final say on everything we do because I'm the one paying. And
Yeah.
that's literally all I needed to experience for me to understand the way a lot of men think when it comes to finances in a relationship. Most men think that way. Most men who feel a
True.
strong need to be financial
Yeah.
providers, it's because financially providing gives you a sense of control over the relationship that a lot of men want in the relationship. And I'm not
True.
sure if you guys pay attention to the divorce lawyers on this app, but a lot of them will tell you that women should contribute something financially or at least have their own income, because once divorce happens, a lot of times stay at home mothers or women who gave up their careers for the relationship suffer. And even
Yeah.
when I watch these sprinkle videos, like it's just so funny to me because a lot of women think that they're about that life, but this woman is constantly telling you guys that there is a performance you have to put on in order to attract the type of man
Get
that is
yes.
going to fund your lifestyle. She is not being her authentic self. She doesn't care about her authentic self. She's constantly playing mind games. She's constantly using manipulation tactics. She's constantly uh, keeping that man's ego at the forefront of all of her actions and everything that she says, because it is imperative that his ego stays intact, not just intact,
Yeah.
but coddled, in order for her to gain some sort of access to his finances. She's not
Yeah.
ever being her authentic self. She's not in it for romance. And she says that herself. And some women are okay with putting on that performance and maintaining that level of femininity and submission in order to have their lifestyle funded. And they usually end up with the Andrew Tates of the world, the fresh and fit guys of the world, the Kevin Samuels of the world. And I feel like a lot of you don't want to accept that that is the type of men that you will attract and you are attracting when you put it out there to the world that that is what you are seeking out of a romantic relationship. I've come to accept that it is very rare to find a man who's as progressive as I want him to be, but also
Yeah.
going to be a sole provider. I'm not saying that they don't exist, and I'm not saying that I won't, attract a man like that. I'm just saying that if the only thing standing in between me and a man that's as progressive as I want him to be is me having to contribute a little bit to the relationship financially, I'm okay with contributing a little bit financially to the relationship. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think a lot of women should just be more honest about being content with that. I think a lot
Yeah.
of you guys are falling down a pipeline. I think you guys are falling down the same pipeline a lot of these red pill incel men are falling down and you don't see it. But the vast majority of you guys are working class women and you guys will date working class men. And some of you guys will end up with wealthy men. But the vast majority of us on this app are working class. And I don't think there's any shame in that. I don't know
I
why
don't
it's
think
something
so
that's like
too.
so shameful. I watched my mom contribute financially to our family. I watched
Yeah.
most of, if not all of my friends' mothers contribute financially to their households. A lot of these women are lying. So yeah, it's just my 2 cents. I have no deep ending to this. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
She touched some part on sprinkle sprinkle lifestyle. Women that want men just for money, can do anything, can change their lifestyle, can change what they do, whatever. They can actually boost a man ego just to get its financial support or just to get him for money or just for the luxury lifestyle. She touched more about it. And there's something I picked in on most of the things that she has been saying is that most of the reason whereby people have issues in a relationship is the 50-50. And also she made it look like if you support a man and you are supporting in the relationship going 50-50 in the relationship, like you're going to have a perfect relationship. The man is not going to look down on you. There's nothing wrong with it. Like 50 going 50-50 in a relationship with your man is something that you should do because that is what saves marriage or saves relationship. The question is, if I go 50-50 with my man in a relationship, does that mean that we're not going to have any other issue and I'm going to have a perfect relationship? I'm going to get the best out of him, or it's going to respect me and everything's going to be perfect just because I am going 50-50 in a relationship with him? I have one reaction to share with you from Cecilia Regina. Of course, she always drop points. Let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say. Then we'll come back and talk about it. But then, you guys, what do you think about this whole conversation? Do you think this is just making a lot of sense? Because people in the comment section of our video were like, I've been saying this a while, you can't have it all, you have to do, like, I don't have an issue with 50. Someone says they've been doing 50-50 for the past 30 years and their marriage is perfect, their relationship is perfect and all of that. What do you guys think? Let's have conversation. This is not, is it that a yes or no thing? There's a conversation we need to have, because it's like some people want to be in a relationship, but then they are very holding strong on, I am not going to do 50-50 with you. I feel like you should provide for me. But are you trying to tell them that they should like hold on and release it so that they can also do 50-50 and have a perfect man? Let's have relationship.
I feel like a lot of women want a man that is progressive enough to be emotionally intelligent and emotionally responsible and available, contributes to, the domestic duties of the household, knows how to plan things, knows how to do things without being told, doesn't use weaponizing competence. They want him to challenge patriarchy and traditional forms of masculinity in every single way, but when it comes to being a financial provider.
Actually, an emotionally intelligent man paying for everything to make his partner's life safer and better does challenge patriarchy, because the only reason the pay gap exists is to keep women trapped by
Yeah.
devaluing their work so they don't have options. But I know a lot of y'all nuance be kicking your ass. So let me break this down from the start. So the original creator says men who are emotionally intelligent and go to therapy and are good partners and don't weaponize incompetence and know how to plan things and communicate are unicorns. No, that's called a partner. And I'm
Yeah.
tired of women trying to use the idea of patriarchy to insert this false narrative. Oh, if you let him pay for everything, he's going to think he has the final say and you should pay so you protect your rights. Quick check in. Are women in 50-50 relationships actually being treated better? Are men
I don't
taking
think
on
so.
half of the domestic labor? Are men not seeing them as service providers, as labor appliances because they
Yeah.
paid half the bills or more than half the bills? Survey
Mm-hmm.
says no. Statistics prove that women who work outside the home are still doing at least 7 hours plus unpaid labor per week inside the house, and that's
Mm-hmm.
without children. Women who have children do the equivalent of 2.5 jobs for free. So the idea that you should pay a man for the privilege of being his free mate has nothing to do with patriarchy. That's just stupidity. Now, it is 100% true. A lot of ex-wives practice financial abuse, but it is completely false that it is predicated on how much they have. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rich men can use their money to financially abuse you, and poor
True.
men will use your own money to financially abuse
Financially
you.
abusive.
Getting with a
Mm-hmm.
man with fewer financial resources or you being the breadwinner is not some kind of magic trick. Look at Kiki Palmer. Darius was in her own house. The tape she leaked of him abusing her, that happened in her house while
Yeah.
she was paying his bills. It's
Yeah.
not a cheat code. Please stop trying to sell it as a cheat code. The problem isn't men who have money. The problem isn't even poor men. The problem is men who feel that they are superior to women.
To
If he
women.
has a sexist attitude in his mind, nothing is going to change that. Not you paying 50-50, not you doing all the chores. If a man sees you as less than because you are a woman, he is going to treat you poorly regardless of who is who in the relationship. In a patriarchal society where women still have enough independence to be able to live on their own, there are very few benefits to being in a relationship with a man. Scientific studies show married women are doing worse by every measure. They have worse health outcomes. They live shorter lives. They commit suicide way more. They make less money. They're doing more domestic labor. The very least a man can bring to the table is a paycheck. Because you're
Exactly.
making this argument like, oh, men are going to be so entitled if he pays for everything. Like men who pay for nothing aren't equally entitled. There's no one more demanding than a man who's driving his girlfriend to work and dropping her off so he can use her car. Then the original creator critiques women who are about getting their bag, saying that what they do is performative. They're always stroking the man's ego. They're not being their authentic selves. It's a manipulation tactic. But she started the video by saying women should pay 50-50 to avoid being manipulated and abused by men like that's their natural state. Isn't that a performance? Posturing independence so he can't mistreat you? And if you submit that the natural male state is to mistreat people who they feel are vulnerable, why then would you posit that it's manipulative for women to stroke their egos when dealing with them? It sounds like a survival strategy. You cannot be a just woman in an unjust system.
Yeah.
It really grinds my gears when women police the individual economic strategies of other women in relationships, when as a whole, we're all under patriarchy. Oh, you make him pay your bills? That's not fair. What happened to equality? There can be no talk of equality or equity in individual relationships when women don't even have the same legal rights as men in this country. It's a completely disingenuous discussion, like the idea of reverse racism. It's nothing but a straw man to distract from the real thing. And in reality, our system is so far from being equal and so close to going entirely backward, this should be the last thing on anybody's mind. And honestly, the only reason I feel certain women bring this conversation to the forefront is because they still want a relationship to be seen in terms of sacrifice for women. Because if a
Yeah.
man said he wanted a partner who knew how to plan things, who was emotionally intelligent, who did domestic labor and paid her own way, that would just be seen as Tuesday. Why is she positioning this as a unicorn? It's a few things, and I'm going to go fast, so stay with me. The more women have the socioeconomic independence to choose to live with or without men, the more they're going to raise their standards for partners to normal levels. What they're asking for is regular stuff men get from women all the time. But as we've seen, because men are used to such an outsized labor disparity in their favor, this feels like oppression to them. So they're pushing back, they're resisting by refusing to give in to these demands for equity. This has resulted in a stalemate, which means that a lot of millennials and Gen Zers are unpartnered. The first party to blink determines the rest of history.
Yeah.
Either there's going to be a relationship realignment where men come into order and contribute as equal members of the household, or women are going to continue to remain unpartnered and possibly have children and form communities by themselves. And the more women that are single, the more women become single. Our standards are communal. 30 years ago, long after women had the social and financial ability to live on their own, they still stayed in crappy marriages in droves because their friends said, "Oh, he doesn't do anything around the house. He doesn't know the kids' birthdays. He cheats on you. That's normal. That's just marriage." Now everyone's saying a grown man who doesn't cook and clean, that's not normal. Our standards rise together and they fall together.
Yeah.
And women who want to be partnered don't want to be the odd man out by saying, "I lowered my standards." So instead, they come to you to lower yours, to try to convince you as a collective, "You're asking for too much. There's no way you're ever going to get a man who's emotionally intelligent, who cleans up, who plans things, and pays." And then women come to the public sphere showing off the fact that they have one like that. So then she says, "Oh, it's a unicorn. Everybody can't have one. Somebody's got to lower their standards so she can get one." The one being a subpar partner without incurring the criticism of other women who are saying, "Hey, we're not settling for that anymore. What are you doing?" Because have you looked under the comments of videos recently? I have never been so proud in my life. The pendulum has swung all the way. When women come to the public sphere complaining about their no good man, people are like, "Why are you settling for that?" They're using the applicable terms: DARVO, weaponized incompetence, gaslighting. Everyone can now identify what's going on. The
Yeah.
question is, how are you going to apply the knowledge for yourself? Because I've been saying this for years. There's zero disagreement on either side about what's going on. Even men will tell you, "Hey, we have a sweet unequal deal, and that's what we want, and we want an even more unequal deal." And they make excuses because they know it sounds insane to say, "I just want you to do all this work because you have a uterus." So they make it sound like, "Oh, well, women tend to have office jobs and men have blue collar jobs. So even if you're making more money, you have a soft job. So you should do more work around the house." See how the goalpost keeps moving? It used to be, "Oh, I'm the breadwinner, I'm the provider, and that's why you're in the domestic role." They will always find a new excuse for you to be in the domestic role, even if you pay all the expenses. So stop falling for that. Stop trying to logic your way out of it. The only way to win is to collectively be a part of the standard raise. And the same is true in reverse. Women cannot lower the collective standard without your participation. So even if an individual woman or a handful of individual women decide to settle, it affects you not at all unless you allow it to lower your standards as well. So think on those things. Like and follow for more.
Exactly my thoughts. When you have a man that is emotionally intelligent, can be there for you, no weaponized competence, doesn't cheat, is there. It's just being a partner. It's just being a man. It's just being your boyfriend. It's just being your husband. That is his duty because all these things you are doing, you're doing it for him. You're nice to him. You're caring. You're loving. You're everything. Because a man is loving you so much. It cares about you. It cares about your well-being. It's just being a man. It's just being your man, not just a man, right? Is that is the characteristics of having a man. That's okay. I have a boyfriend. Oh, he cares about me. Oh, because I have a guy that cares about me. Like, it's just the characteristics of having a man. These men have to provide. That is my own. And the thing is, it's not like when I see somebody that do 50-50, I'm like, no. If you feel, I feel like any woman's happiness is my own priority. If you feel like going 50-50 with your man will make you happy, it's putting your own inner peace first, it's putting yourself first, go for it. Seriously, go for it, to be honest. But if you feel like it's pinching you somewhere, even a tiny little pinch, I don't think you should do 50-50 with any man, to be honest. Because you doing 50-50 with a man does not make him respect you, does not make him love you more, does not make him put you first, does not make him, you know, prioritize you in his life, because these men will always be selfish regardless. They'll always be who they are, they'll always be what they are. Okay? Even though, see, I have seen men that don't have shishi. Shishi means they don't have any money. Okay? The wife is the one that does everything. She's the one that provides, take the children to pay for the school fees. She has all the cash. She's the one that bought the house. What they do is probably manage some of the little business that the woman is doing. But you know what? Because of they still see themselves superior over women, they still see themselves like, "I am your Lord and Master. You have to bow down for me." They still do whatever they want to do, even with the fact that they don't have to provide, like they are not providing. These men are not providing. Doesn't make them to calm down and be humble. I don't know if that makes sense. So if you're doing 50-50 with a mindset that, okay, when I provide, when I do this, they're going to respect me, they're going to do all of that to me, and I'm going to get the best version of my man, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong. If you have a man that is not financially stable, you want to get something in the house, or you feel like you need a particular space for yourself, for your own sanity, you can share the mortgage, you can share the bill, you can share anything. If you have a man that cannot afford, or probably was affording at a point and later on it was unable to afford it, you can share with him if it's okay with you. Some people will not share with their man, or they will not pay for some things, or do 50-50 in a relationship, because they know the kind of man they have. And there are some men whereby they're going to relax. They know that things are supposed to be done, but they're going to relax and watch you do it first. So the moment you do it, they're not going to do that thing anymore, and that's going to be your responsibility. Those things that she listed are the things that are bare minimum, are the things that are supposed to be done in a relationship, are the characteristics, or are the things that you're supposed to see in your man. Your man is supposed to be emotional intelligent. So if you have an emotional intelligent man, does not mean that you've had the best man. Those are the qualities, those are the things that you're supposed to see in a relationship. And that is why when sometimes a lot of things happen in a relationship, people try to tell you, oh, that is how relationship is with men. No, no. That, yes, we understand whereby women, older women, then they were taking it because they feel like, okay, I don't have a choice. But now women are realizing, if you're not going to up your game, if you're not going to do things right, I am happier single, I am happier by myself. You are the one that need me, so you're supposed to do things the right way. I am not supposed to actually come down to your level. Try harder, try to meet me up where I am. I just feel like women should understand that these men need us as much as we need them. If you need them, but they need us more. They need us more than we need them. You are happier, or you are better paying your bills alone. You're better staying in your own apartment alone than being in the house with a man that cannot clean, or cannot cook, or cannot do anything. And at the end of the day, you are still going to pour in so much energy or so much thing in the relationship, and they are going to do bare minimum, because these men expect you to be a mom, to be a wife, to be a chef, to be a nurse, to be everything in a relationship. They want you to check all the lists. They want you to do everything. And to people, it's a normal thing for a man to say, oh, I want a woman that is very, they call it a nurturer, they call it hospitably. When they tell you they want a woman that is very hospitably, they want a woman that will slave, a cook and clean, that will clean and everything will be thorough. They want to enter the house and the house is sparkling clean. When they tell you I want a woman that is hospitably, just know that is what they are looking for. If they tell you they want a nurturer, they want you to be a baby making machine and also take care of those children even when they are away or even when they are around. They want you to have that mother instinct, or to always want to carry a child and be there with a child 100. That is why they tell you they will need a nurturer. And they also want someone that will take care of them when they are sick. Most of these men abandon their women when they are sick. They don't have that care. They cannot care for you when you're sick, because they're not there. They don't understand how it feels. So when you now say you meet somebody that cares for you, or that is normal, that is what you're supposed to face or see in a relationship. You're not supposed to meet or be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't care for you, that doesn't put you first, that doesn't look at your interests and be like, okay, I have to make this person happy, and this person is my priority. You need to be in a relationship with somebody that check all those lists, not someone that you be like, okay, check 2 out of 10. Most of the time, they pretend that they will check the list, and later on, you realize you let them go. That is why there is always breakup, divorce, and all of that in a relationship, and that's it. Anyways, what is your take? Anyways, to be honest, when it comes to 50-50, I always say that I don't think 50-50 benefits women, because, and I'll tell you, 50-50 is only available financially, and men only talk about 50-50 financial aspects. They're not going to talk about 50-50 elsewhere. And mind you, elsewhere women are doing 100. These men are not even doing up to 50% of what women put into. And now they're not bringing something else that they're supposed to do 100. I'm not saying don't do things. I'm not saying women don't make your money. I'm always I'm always telling women you must have something you're doing, no matter how rich your man is, no matter how rich you want to have a rich man, no matter how you want to be sprinkling your lifestyle, you need to get there. You need to have your own money, enough money to take care of yourself, enough money to be who you are. Because at the end of the day, you might not have a man that can give you the kind of lifestyle that you want, but he also provides. He provides the basic needs. It provides things that's supposed to be done. But when it comes to your own personal lifestyle, you might not be able to provide for it. That is where your money comes in. That is why you have to make your own money so that you can live up to the kind of lifestyle you want. You're not going to depend on a man to get you to the kind of lifestyle that you want, the kind of happiness that you want in life. Okay, but having a man and thinking that okay, I must do 50-50, and you know that the little amount of money you're earning, you have to still drop half of it. What happens to his own half? To be honest, what happens to this man half? They give it out for another. They have time to give that money to another woman. That's why you see most men that their women do 50-50 with them, they always cheat and have baby mamas out there because they have money, they have extra luxury money, extra time, extra things to put in outside relationship. Right? I'm not saying that if your man is paying 100 of the bill, he's not still going to cheat on you. A cheater is still going to cheat no matter what you do, right? But I'm just saying that financial aspects, men should not have the audacity to come and ask women to provide 50-50 because of the work that women put into in a relationship to make relationship work. If she wants to give you money or support in some things, she will do it willingly and because she have it. It is very wrong for men to, I've heard men come and tell their wives that how much are you making in this salary? Once you get this money, you're gonna drop this percentage in the joint account or something. I just feel like this is a level of another manipulation. Well, if it suits you, if you're happy with it, you can continue doing it. But if deep down it is biting you somewhere, it's better off you just stop and choose a happier life. I am preaching women to be happy, you know happy regardless. So if you're happy doing 50-50, I'm happy for you, okay? But if you're not, and deep down you know that you're not, stop it, okay? Because the relationship is not actually 50-50. It's only 50-50 financially. What is your take on today's video? Let's have conversation in the comment section respectfully. It is your girl Mara David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.